What is up, everyone? Welcome to the PVL forecast, the later rounds of this tournament. I am D2. Along with me is Jury. Apologies for the late start. First, we had one of the teams say they're going to arrive a little bit late, and then I had to stuff some breakfast down my gullet. I do live in Japan, where it is morning, actually. Where are you, Jury?
Is it actually morning yet, or are you just in the wee hours of
No. It's
the morning?
normal. It's 9 a.m. It's like perfectly normal morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that works. I am in Alabama, where it's a nice 7:15 in the evening.
Nice. See, there's always times where it's perfectly normal for everyone to come together, except it never works out for all, three time zones, if you consider like Europe the third time zone. So that's why Asia always gets screwed when it comes to like tournaments, because they'll have, morning NA time, evening Europe time, and Asia's like, hey, what about us? And then, yeah, problems can occur. Anyway, we have some games. And
Dude,
the first game, our first series of the day, is between Vorpal Swords and Black Dragon. Oh, we actually are in the draft. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So these are the actual teams that we saw last time. So we actually know. We actually like saw how they played. Fun enough.
yeah, and I don't think I mentioned this the other day, but Vorpal Swords is quite a few members from a team called Serial Killers that was in season 2 of the PVL, and they were actually a part of ATF from season 1 of the PVL. So some of these guys have been playing for a while. They just haven't been playing together as this group. Black Dragon is fairly new to me, but I know a couple of the players enough to know that they're good. Like Corrupt is good, Enzo is good. So
And
the
so
expectation of this match should be it should be a fairly even match.
Enzo just confuses me because he doesn't play Enzo, and I'm like, well, Enzo's going to. I mean, Quillen. I mean, and he plays jungle too, so it's like it's kind of confusing as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We have a question in chat. NA or EU? This is NA. Both of these teams actually looked really good last time. They pretty much crushed their opposition 2-0. So looking forward to this one.
Yeah, up to this point we haven't had I think one of the series had a good match, but I think it's pretty much been a stomp up to this point, but it should even out now, and I'm pretty excited to see what specifically these two, because since I started ATF, I've played a lot with Vorpal Swords guys.
Yeah.
I really would like to see um, them challenged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to lose. I don't really. I want everybody to win, but it's not going to happen.
Are we giving up participation trophies at the end?
We are.
Nice.
I grew up in the '80s, in the section of the '80s where there were no participation trophies. Not
Nice.
going to happen.
So we have, just to clarify, we have Vorpal Swords on the left and Black Dragon on the right. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
All right, let me just write the names in. So when you get to the game, we actually have them. How cool is that? But yeah, going back to their match in the first round, which was last week, by the way, and you can check out the VOD either on this channel or either on my channel, twitch.tv/D2AOV, or on the Premier Gaming channel. I am streaming it to both at the moment, so if you want to check out, want to go in the chat of the other service, you can do so. Again, it's on my personal Twitch channel and on the Premier Gaming YouTube channel.
So I've been playing Arena of Valor recently.
Really?
I've taken a sabbatical to play Chess Rush because I've been doing a lot of stuff with
Uh,
with Tencent for Chess Rush. So I've not been playing Arena of Valor, and I went back to it over the past week, really since those matches,
mm-hmm.
and I'm really shocked at Brunhilde. Like you had mentioned her, and I mean, I'd seen her play. She is She is, or at least with Crushed, I've been very lucky in countering her. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
not lucky, but I've been able to counter her really well. But if I'm not there, my team just gets murdered by her. It's not even fair. It's bad. So I understand what you were saying the other day now, and you were 100% correct.
Were they just being like stupid and standing in a range when she popped her ult?
100% every time.
It's like,
Every time.
you know, that big like red zone. Don't stand in there. It's gonna hurt. The funny thing
I mean,
is,
I freak out and run away when my own Talanis does her one. Like I just like, oh god, gotta get out.
wait a second. The funny thing is she's one of the few heroes that really takes good advantage of Devil's Handshake, which, if you don't know, since you know it's hardly picked over Slick Sting, I guess it's sometimes some heroes pick it, but basically, every time you attack, it increases your attack speed up to 50% more, which is a lot. It's a lot. The only problem is like Slick Sting basically can give you the benefits of, or the initial attack speed benefits of Devil's Handshake, but it also kind of gives you the Gilded Greaves effect if you get a crit. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, you know, get War Boots and then Slick Sting and you're good to go. And if you figure if you're an auto attacker, you're not going to be auto attacking 5 times in a row. It's like, like why would I need to like get the benefit of that afterward? But if you're Brunhilde, because it takes so long to attack when she's in her siege mode, getting that extra 50% is nuts. And all of a sudden she's just like laying shells out at the opponent.
Well, I've always been a support main.
Oh, no, do it.
Forgive this, but I thought you only got 5% per attack. Is it more than that?
No, it's 10% per attack for Devil's Handshake.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's 10%. You get 50%
Oh,
more.
okay.
It's nuts.
Fair enough.
Again, the only reason why you don't see it is because, like, most marksmen, by the time they get pretty farmed up, it's like 5 attacks, they're already dead. So it's like, what am I doing anymore with this?
That's fair.
Once again, Enzo, just trolling, not picking Enzo. Looking at these lineups, I know people want to have the analysis. The bans in the beginning, the first round of bans, Lindis, Hayate, Fennec, Zip are all on the top of my newly released temporary tier list. I just put out without a lot of the blurbs, just because it needed to be out because people were waiting too long. But yeah, that's out now, and these are pretty normal bans. The actual picks themselves. Zuka is interesting. I think Zuka is probably supposed to be some sort of like semi-counter to Florentino. You kind of see like the bursty side laner, and then you have the bursty jungler, which in this case is Wukong, and then they rotate over, and they kill the Florentino before he can fight back.
But doesn't Darcy, like, isn't that going to negate some of that?
Well, Darcy's mid,
Like,
so... Oh, Florentino's jungle. What am I talking about? I guess I can do the same thing to Yina.
But I mean, Darcy's going to be rotating. He does have a slow lane clear, at least when I play him. So maybe he won't be rotating as much.
No, his wave clear is pretty quick. The only problem is that sometimes he specifically doesn't want to clear very quickly because he wants to get his passive up. Which requires auto attacking.
My initial time in mid was with Natalia, so I mean I base everything on that.
That's the extreme. That's the extreme range of quick.
Oh, they're all dead. Guess I'll go ahead and rotate now.
Yeah, no, Natalia. Don't base things on what Natalia does. She's an extreme example in every single regard.
Coming soon. I really want that to happen.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, we have Omega once again, who is not a troll pick.
Allegedly. I don't know. Maybe I need to look at your tier list.
He is in tier 2. He jumped from tier 4 to tier 2. I think
Pretty
either.
pretty solid jump.
Actually, it might have been tier 1. I'm forgetting right now. I put him in bunches. Like I bunched him together with other supports, but he's next to all the top supports. Like he's right next to Baldum and Teamy. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think it's tier 1. Anyway, he's in there. That's all we need to talk about. I'm actually interested in this duel in the bottom between Brunhilde and
I was
Telmas.
just about to say that. I was sitting here watching.
Tel should win early. She just has like more range and damage early on. And people think of Tel on this. Oh, Chrono Fate. Hello. Gets knocked up by SoCal. Goes back in, and now SoCal's in trouble. Wow, very nicely done. And the problem with Wukong, guys, is that you don't have enough crit earlier to be consistent in your rotations, and so he's kind of like a Quillen in that you need to have your first like full item to be able to really just take out the opposing team and gank properly. Otherwise, you're kind of just rolling the dice almost literally. It's like, I wonder if this gank will be successful. Depends on these crits. Let's go.
Yeah, but when you've got somebody as low as Chrono Fade on the Omega, I think they were both kind of in a lot of risk for not enough reward situation.
Well, speaking of risk, Dead Zone nearly goes down. That's after Absolute Zero went down in the top lane. Dead Zone just like he's just recalling back in a fairly dangerous spot, but and turns out okay in the end.
Trying to figure out what L'Oreal is doing. She's like,
well, Vorpal Swords is taking their sweet time taking this Abyssal Dragon, which means that Black Dragon, they go in, they steal the buff, and it looks like they're about to get away with it. Or maybe, I don't know. Stun comes in from Chrono Fate, in comes Violet, you got me to hell with this fight. Wow! Big Moonfall!
nice.
Skyfall from Zuka, excuse me. And he takes out multiple members, Zodyu trying to make it happen in the end. But to no avail, and that is a 4 for 0. 4 for 0. Oh my goodness. That's one of the best Skyfalls I've ever seen. Corrupt just going ham on them.
Brunhilde just hanging in there on the bottom.
I mean, you can't expect her to rotate all the way over there.
Nah. She's hanging in there with both Baldum and Talana.
But the funny thing was, like, they thought they had her caught. Okay, hold on a thought here. Fantasy Fan might be in a bit of trouble. Gets knocked up, has to try to run away, and they do get the kill on the SoCal. Enzo's trying to come back with the fate there. Dead Zone might be able to get. Oh, seriously? Dead Zone does not take out on that.
That's crazy. Oh, nice with the Darcy.
Good night, Enzo.
Nice.
It was nice seeing you. But yeah, this game is just really, really back and forth. If it weren't for that crazy invade from Black Dragon being able to get out of there 2v3 and taking out 4 for 0, this might be a completely different game.
Red team might just be catching their breath. They felt so good about that 5-1.
Yeah, a couple of bad engagements have pretty much evened up the score. Only 300 gold difference. No real structural advantage for either team. Brunhilde's getting pretty farmed up, though, especially in comparison to Telenos. I mean, 2.1k to 1.4 is like, it's literally 30% or 33% more. So
Yeah,
look for.
She's not really slowing down at all. She's basically getting solo lane farm.
Well, Invade coming here. Not working out too well for Vorpal Swords so far. They're taking quite a bit of damage. Yina's trying to make something happen of it. Corrupt. Nearly dead himself. He does get the kill before Chrono Fate. Well, he does get out of there. Okay. Well, in the end, Darcy's able to get the return kill. So, ends up being somewhat even. But they do get the buff, I believe. So that ends up being a win here for the side of Vorpal Swords. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, Jerry. Black Dragon.
Well, I do appreciate, after playing quite a few ranked games, that the teams are focusing on waves, which it surprises me that people still ignore waves and then lose. Don't understand why, but they're doing a really good job of rotating on the side of Vorpal swords, and really both sides.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of funny when you see like a player just show ridiculous mechanical skill in fights, and then it's just like, you know what would have been really nice if you had more gold because you're getting your waves. But
yeah,
yeah, maybe that would have worked out for you.
I did not, or I have not seen the new Darcy skin in gameplay yet. Which, I mean, he doesn't have it either, but I don't.
Nice non sequitur.
I'm curious. No, I don't know why I randomly thought of it.
Well, Yugami
I mean,
popped her ult earlier, had to run away, which means he's not really in this fight. But that said,
oh,
Yina goes down
Darcy.
in a weird, like, jump over to the mid lane where they resume their fight. Zuka goes down for it as well, though. That ends up being a 1-for-1, or excuse me, 2-for-1 so far, because they got Omega as well. Omega going a little bit too deep. That's the problem with Omega, right? You want to go in deep, but then it's like, because you're like, I'm going to push him back with my ult, and then you're kind of by yourself.
Well, it's interesting to me. Seems like all the members from Black Dragon are not afraid to port back in the most questionable areas. You mentioned it earlier. I've seen 3 people do it. They're just like in front of the tower, not even really like it's almost disrespectful.
Well, yeah, if Vorpal Swords really wanted to dive them, then they probably could, but they're playing it safely. They're doing a lot of invading, though. So going in on their missed dimensional portal, but in comes Zochi trying to get some damage, and they do take out Azuka before he's able to do anything, and that is huge. He's able to take out the L'Oreal as well, and that is going very, very poorly for Black Dragon. They're able to take out the Darcy before he's able to pick up the Apocalypse. Are they going to continue to push this? I think they should.
More, yeah.
Chrono Fate's like, hello? Can we kill this Tell please?
For hell does just sees gold.
So I mentioned that you can stun towers, but you can't stun invulnerable towers. That's the issue there.
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't know, you cannot. The towers that are behind the other towers are unattackable. I know that sounds very basic, but I've definitely seen people try to attack them.
I've tried before. You just have to know.
Yeah, it's required learning.
Looks like something might be happening close to the bottom. Yeah, we got an engage. And Chrono Fate is doing a great job on Omega. Really,
He's just being extremely aggro. He has the Oh, hello. As while we were looking, Zoju just took out L'Oreal. Turns out he's better at dueling, even if L'Oreal does have her smite. Anyway, like I was mentioning, Omega does have the what is it called? The dangerous like nature or whatever it's called, where he has more damage every time he stuns someone. So playing a very aggro Omega at the moment. Take the damage. Take the tower. Oh. Chrono Fate tried.
and we're finally, despite that 4-0 trade early on, we're at a point right now that Vorpal Swords is back on top on the kill board.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's as if if this were baseball, right? Black Dragon got like a grand slam in the second inning, and then ever since then, like Vorpal Swords have been singling to death. Like it's just single kills here and there the entire time, and just slowly getting that lead. And Yugami really hasn't done a whole lot on this L'Oreal. Like obviously got that a lot of damage in the early game, but since then just hasn't really been doing a whole lot. Really struggling to keep up, as it were. Fantasy fan doing so much damage now. Fantasy fan's like, I'm done being in the lane and just farming up. It's time to farm some actual heroes.
He's
graduated.
He's pretty well set on items now. I mean, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's graduated
what else
from.
Does he need?
He's graduated from minions to heroes as far as his diet of choice. Enzo. Good night, Enzo.
Oh, man, they are just being incredibly aggressive, and it's really paying off for him.
Exposed as the imposter he is. Not Enzo, but Wukong.
They're just not letting up.
So interestingly enough, Brunhilde actually has gone for a Slick Sting rather than the Devil's Handshake. It does provide her more movement speed, so it's a little bit better for when she's not in her ult form. Yugami is just like, wow, Yugami nearly took that 1v2.
Jeez.
But it doesn't get away in the end. Meanwhile, Zochi deep behind towers.
Whoa.
Chronofate's like, you shall not pass, and starts spinning in circles. Doesn't have quite the same effect as Gandalf, though. When he's like, I will spin in circles, and you cannot get past here.
I'm really waiting for this Wukong to get in and make something happen. Ah.
Well. Well, that's going to answer your question there.
Good timing on that point.
I wasn't even looking. Honestly,
Zuka.
I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was like looking over, just checking chat for a second, and then you were talking about Wukong. I'm like, and then it just says Wukong's dead on the screen. I'm like, oh well, there you go. Nice, stun that tower, Chronofate. Do it, yes. Oh, you
enjoy that entirely too much, and L'Oreal goes down again. Baldum is nailing his ult every time.
Is he though? If it doesn't get a kill, is it nailing the ult?
Oh, but he's got to feel good about something. I mean, this has turned around hard against his team. Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And down goes Tell as well. Oh, in comes Zuka. Takes out nearly 2. Chronofate does get away. He's going to come back in, though.
He goes back, and they're gone.
And they're gone. Oh my goodness. Turns out Zuka and Wukong aren't the tankiest of heroes. That's probably going to be it.
In retrospect, a different support would have probably been a good idea. And by different, I don't mean a different person. Maybe a different build or different strategy. Because that Baldum, like you said, you can hit it. But if it's not actually benefiting your team and you're not actually turning it into kills, towers, I mean, why do you... Other than that feeling that you get inside, because I'm going to be honest, I can't hit Baldum ults for anything, but when I do, it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I just feel like a champion.
Okay.
I'm not very good with Baldum, being honest.
Honestly, I don't think it... Even though like some of the picks on the side of Black Dragon were weird. Oh, hold on a second. The people want to see the stats.
Oh, sorry.
I think like just the in-game execution was just better for Vorpal swords. I think that's what it came down to.
Well, they pretty much made the statement that they were going to be aggressive, and they never once let up. It didn't pay off early when they got smoked, but they really they'd stuck with it and maintained that. And at a certain point, the other team just couldn't keep up that pace.
You know, I was wondering how the Florentino one-shot the Tell. I was like, oh, he has crit in his build. How about that? Like, usually you can chunk someone down with Florentino. Maybe a couple shots from his combo starts chunking people down. But it doesn't, like, he doesn't burst from, like, 50% health. But that would explain it. That would absolutely explain it. Anyway. I am now ready for that invite.
Right.
Cool.
So, game plan moving forward for Black Dragon.
Uh,
Tankier
no, I don't.
tunes.
Just play better and get good.
Yeah. Oh, don't say that.
No, I'm just joking. It's honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with the draft.
Did anybody in your semi updated tier list, has
Huh?
anyone made any huge moves?
Um, well, I don't know. My tier list came so late that all the huge moves, as you know refer to, were pretty much already known. Like Deoton moving from tier 4 to S. What was the other one? Prada going from tier 4 to like tier 1. I want to say. Caffney dropped from tier SS to 2, like, and because the tiers are so massive, that's a drop from like literally number 2 overall to like number 55 or something like that.
What happened to Caffeine?
The meta, like people just, or it's like a combination of people knowing how to play against her, and like the meta in general being less kind to her.
Other than the Natalia change, or any characters getting any huge buffs or huge?
Go to d2av.com and
Yeah, that's a very good point.
check out the Taiwan, um, the latest Taiwan patch notes slash translation slash review. Um, Malok is actually getting a very nice buff. Like you wouldn't think it's that much of a buff, but it makes a big difference because it really helps his like re-engage potential. Like if you're low for like, because when you ult now and you land your shock, your blade is automatically enchanted, and that's a huge deal. Because before,
Really?
yeah, before you would ult in, and then you just get like your one, cleave off. It wouldn't do that much damage, and you also couldn't heal. So if Malak tried to re-engage with like low health, he'd be like, "Well, I'm dead now." But you can actually re-engage with a shock, and then completely heal like 30% of your life if you're really low. If you get a nice cleave off, so it's very very nice.
Yeah, that's huge.
And if your blade is already enchanted, then the shock hits for true damage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's been sad to see him slowly get tapered back for multiple reasons.
It's
Because when he was first released, man, I was all over Malik. I loved him. I loved
mm.
almost forced people to play with him. And then obviously, I don't know if it was AWC or Valor series when I first really started getting into him. But just really love that character.
Yeah, I like the change though that they're making to him. Or also, I'm not so sad that he went away for a little bit, because he was like he was always meta from like literally day one.
Yeah.
Um, and to like and he was every time I thought he would just fall off for a bit, it's like, nah, he can be a tanky frontliner, and then no, he can actually play mid. He just like hang on for dear life. He like just would never go away. So to see him actually go away for a little bit, that's like refresh the palate a little bit, and now we get to see him again.
Yeah.
So, and I like things that make things more fun, right? Because it just feels so good to shock in, get that hit, get the nice cleave off, and kill them. And if you're the opponent, it's like, well, just don't get hit by the shock anymore, right? So
Right.
it's I think it's more fun overall, right? Like anything that just adds more fun to the game.
Well, it's not fun if you're on the opposing end.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that it's like not a zero sum. It's like plus 10 fun for the Malok and like minus 2 fun for the opposing team. Just make sure you dodge it basically if you get it on the other side.
Yeah, fair enough. It's like the Elsu snipe. You know it's coming. Just move. Just juke out.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like it requires more skill though if you're the on the other side. Like it kind of keeps you alert if you're playing it Melek. If you don't have to worry about something, it's just like it's not even interesting. It's like when Chognar's jumping at you, jumping your backline, and you're like, "What are you doing here again?"
In about 20 minutes, you're all gonna die.
Oh, it's a nice, another nice, what's it called? Just interesting change that's gonna feel a lot better, even though it's not like a massive balance change, is the fact that Xeniel can't get stunned out of Malleus anymore. Malleus being his second ability where he jumps up and then away.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
he got stunned. That's like the most. That's the ability that gets stunned out like of the most of any ability in like the entire game. So him not
I think
having
the
to
best
do that.
is when you're going up into a Diachan and she freezes you midair, and you're like,
What?
it's covering half the screen on my iPad. I'm like,
I've
felt so good about this.
I've as I was writing the tier list. First of all, Diao John, how dare you? I couldn't let that get away. But but I would just get so frustrated, and I would just like be like screw it, and I'd log on to Taiwan and play Abyssal Clash because that's like the only server I can play Abyssal Clash on. And I've probably been frozen like outside of the circle range, probably like 100 times. And by outside, I don't mean I have like one toe in. That's happened even more times. I mean like literally I flickered at the exact moment that I got frozen, or
yeah.
like that's the exact moment. And so like I'm frozen, but I'm literally like 10 feet away. It's like I'm just like in some random place, and then they'll be in like the bush. Like Diachin won't even realize that I'm frozen. But yeah, that happens quite a lot. A guy in orange says abysmal trash. He doesn't know the joy of Abyssal Clash. It's so fun.
It's incredible. It gets you out of your comfort zone. Well, most people. It gets you out of your comfort zone. You play a character that you don't normally play. And you gotta spice it up a little bit. You can't just play the same character over.
Yeah, and there's crazy comebacks in that game because you're forced to basically kill yourself.
Yeah.
The worst is when you have like 6,000 gold just banking up, and you're like, crap, I need to kill myself, but I don't trust my team to hold on while I'm dead. And even with
Hang on, wait.
zero farm.
Did Zip got passed on
Zip.
for a Hayate?
Well, I mean, if you go by my tier list, then Hayate's number 1, Zip's number 3. So there you go. We have a Zip in the game, guys. Rejoice.
Dun dun dun. They did ban Quillen though, so there's absolutely no chance of Enzo Quillen.
Now he's just conflicted. What do I do?
He's only got 32 seconds. This is serious business. Illumia. All right then.
I feel like people who like Illumia think she's better than she actually is.
And that fact has stood the test of time for the entire stretch of Arena of Valor.
Pretty much. Except now she's actually like decent. So people have gone from thinking like, oh, she's not bad, she's actually decent, to now is like, no, she's amazing. It's like, no, she's just okay.
I will say that whenever they made the adjustment, or maybe they didn't make an adjustment, maybe I just didn't notice it, but at some point, did they not change it to where it lit up on the map where everyone was, and it originally did not do that?
Yeah, that was like, I want to say about like a year ago.
I sort of considered that she might not be complete two when that happened. That's the only time. And then I moved on very fast.
Hmm.
I mean, she has some cool. She has cool abilities, but as a kit, I just don't see it as viable compared to basically any other mate.
Well, she has more damage than you would expect. Like, you can actually one shot someone with only 4 items, 3 or 4 items. And like in the beginning, you can, if people aren't used to your kit, which they are now, but when they weren't used to your kit, you could just basically chunk them down with the empowered divine lights. But they did lower the stun time on that for that reason.
So Enzo is playing Illumia, and we also have an Enzo. You're gonna have a hard time with this.
Enzo versus Enzo. Who is the real Enzo? Well, we know it's not Enzo because he never plays Enzo.
Yeah.
He's just an imposter. Joyu is the real Enzo. By the way, by the way, our Vorpal Swords team has Florentino, Zip, and Enzo. uh, number 3, 4, and 5 overall on my tier list, all tier SS. Just I want to point that out right now.
So your early argument that Hayate is number one is getting diluted pretty hard.
Yeah.
With the Irie and Illumia.
Yeah, I think Irie's a lot better in the jungle nowadays than in side lane. I can see why they might want to put her against Florentino. Just play keep away for a while, throw out some shuriken, and then, when you have the opportunity to rotate your jungler over, you burst him down. But no matter what role this Irie plays, I'm expecting a full damage build.
I guess, to me, Irie has always been too slow in the jungle.
Yeah, that's still her main issue, but she does have crazy damage. And the thing is with the Devil's Awakening, she can triple dash in, ult, and then triple dash out. It's pretty nuts.
Huh. That's something I had not considered. We got Darcy again.
Well,
that's a pretty strong team, I would say.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm definitely favoring the Vorpal Sword side. Speaking of which, let's fix that on the screen. I should probably change the team sides just so people aren't confused. Vorpal Swords. Right side. Team 1. Black Dargon. And team 2 has a point. Cool.
So Ormar has been through some changes over a long period of time.
Well, he got like
I remember
they
reworked him.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as dramatic a rework as like say Fennec, but it was a rework. But it's just basically how the functionality, like basically how like the abilities themselves worked hasn't changed. The only difference is what they do once you pull them off. But all of a sudden, this latest meta, he's looking really good. I think part of it is also that like other supports are kind of garbage now. Like everyone has just fallen off a cliff, so he's like on the pile of rubble that's left over. But speaking of overpowered supports, Zip, it's gonna be a treat. I feel like Chrono Fate is like the ultimate troll. Right? It goes from Omega to Zip. Like, if you couldn't be any more trolly as a support player.
I mean, Omega is viable in like normal, ban setups. I mean, I wouldn't expect that I'd ever get to play Zip in even a ranked match. So I'm really surprised it got through here. But maybe their target bans they felt were more important.
I think it was just smart banning from the side of Vorpal Swords. Because Black Dragon was saying, like, okay, well, we want to get to Hayate, so we're not going to specifically ban him out. And then Vorpal Swords is like, well, okay, we're just not going to ban the other top tier hero so we can get one of those as well. And so they were able to come away with a Zip in exchange for Hayate there.
I think we're waiting for Enzo, the person playing the Enzo character,
Joyu,
to connect. Yeah. Apologies for the delay. There we go.
Well,
all right.
It's going to be a little bit late on his jungle. But he's going to be about 12 seconds.
Zip.
Oh, do you steal it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is not insignificant. Joyu is basically 12 seconds behind on the jungle clear, but looks like no one's invading, so it's kind of okay. And also...
he grabbed it again.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
This is so
That's
funny.
Awesome.
So, Zip is basically like the cheat to counterbalance the fact that Joyu completely lagged out of the game at the start.
Darcy's backing him up. Really causing problems over there.
Yeah, and you see the issue with Irie. She's just very, very fragile throughout the game. A couple of shots from Darcy, and she's like, oh, well, I guess I gotta get out of here. You know what? I did not realize that that's what Zip says. You're stuck to each other. Thanks, Zip. We didn't realize.
Looks like Violet. Well, is she ever really in trouble?
Well, Tactical Fire does give her a movement speed boost if you're within 400 units. So you have to be pretty close. That's how she's able to get away there. Also, the movement speed from Sacred Protection, which is not going to be a thing next patch. Wow, Enzo's in trouble. So too is SoCal. Chronophage is going back in. You're stuck to... That's going to be so annoying. Oh my goodness. Wow. Passive... Oh my goodness.
Boom.
Oreo's beautiful play there. Gets his passive off. Able to get a couple of dimensional walks in. And just burst down Hayate. And Hayate needs his farm. Otherwise, he's not going to be doing a whole lot here.
Once again, Vorpal Swords really doing a great job of just functioning as a team. Their rotations are really coming together. And it seems like at every point they're catching one or two people totally off guard.
Corrupt is like... I mean, Joyu just felt something. Absolute Zero is just spamming the enemy's missing button, and Joyu's like, I guess I shouldn't take this right now. Oh my goodness. Ult comes out from Corrupt to get out of there. Chrono Fate very low does go down. They're still trying to
There's
fight though. Joyu flips over the SoCal. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Fantasy Fan
oh,
trying to help finish him off, but Zoe M0 goes down in the meantime. So it's a 1-for-1 after the zip went
Darcy
down.
is not afraid to go in.
Hello?
Okay.
He's like, I'll just be supportive, that's okay. I'll just tank the tower shots, and so you can go in.
I think he can. Well, thought he was going to go for that iron.
You know what's funny? If you pop Dimensional Walk, the tower won't target you as Darcy. So if you have your passive up, you can actually use your passive, go in, attack an opponent, and passive and get out, and the tower will never target you.
Oh. I typically have used it to get out of tower fire. Well,
no, but I mean, it will, like, if you do it correctly, it will never target you in the first place.
Yeah, I'd never really thought about that.
Anyway, Oreo is playing the most aggressive mid Darcy I've ever seen. Uh-oh, Fantasy Fan. He's fine.
Oh, Illumia.
Oh my, wow. Fantasy Fan just held off 1v3, just no big deal. Double stun in the air, it's okay. Enzo? Enzo versus Enzo? The eternal battle? See, this is what you were talking about earlier, right? It's like Black Dragon, like Corrupt, if he goes in, pops his ult at a better time for his team, then they can all clean up. But he's going in 1v4, and just getting the damage and running away. He's not really doing anything.
I mean, I understand why you want to do damage, but you need an end result. You need a net positive.
Yeah, just getting them low doesn't do a whole lot, as you can see here. They're low, and they're like, we'll just take this Abyssal Dragon anyway. Wait, can you suck up these spirits? There's so many things about Zip I don't know that I should be checking, but I'm too lazy. Because
Well, what were you gonna ask?
Can he suck up the spirit? Or not the spirit tunnel, the seagull.
He should be able to.
Corrupt?
Oh,
one more blossom.
Oh, I thought he was gonna get away.
One more blossom. Just a flower to the face. Wow. Right, what actually is that? Does he shoot like a flower out of a gun? Like, how does that work?
I
never thought about that. He just like shoots a flower out of a gun into your face.
I think he just hurls a dart.
Oh my god, the healing from Omar's too much. No, he's dead.
I don't know that there's anything that Ormar does that's just too much.
Well, it was too much for him.
Oh, Chrono. He's ruthless. Go, Corrupt, go. It's 1v4. Why are you doing this?
Does he have ult? He has ult, so he can maybe go in and like do that, but might get
kill the minions. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, you just saw why Zip is extremely good, because he's the only hero in the game who can completely shield someone from all damage. It's not healing, it's not like shielding, it's like literally just immunity. Uh-oh, Oreos. Uh-oh, Oreos. Uh-oh. Permission to death. That's gonna feel bad. That's one of those situations where you're like, if only I had Gilded Greaves. By the way, Enzo. Not the other Enzo, but this Enzo on the Zephyrus fighting back. Alright, from now on we're calling Joyu by his name Joyu. We're calling Zephyrus. I'm not gonna say Enzo anymore this game. So, otherwise it's confusing. Orange says the saber is also a gun. Oh, it's like one of those old school ones.
Oh. Are you sure? I'm looking at it.
You're just staring at it.
I need to know.
No, you're right. He shoots with his left hand. Uh-oh, big ult coming out. Oreos is dead. Chrono Fate also dead.
This is. They're going hard.
Come back for Black
And
Dragon. They're doing a
Zephyrus
lot of
is
work.
not. Yeah, I thought he was going to keep going in, but he backed off. Cleared jungle.
And the thing is, like, Enzo or Joyu. Oh, actually, wow. Wow. Sorry, I can't talk. So what happened was, oh, stop fighting so I can talk. So Dead Zone's passive triggered right as Joyu got right as the shield went off for Joyu. But because the passive went off, he got the true damage off. Oh, good night. Good night, had it. But the true damage went off and actually popped the Desticle, the Reaper's Blessing. So that means that Enzo's not gonna have, or Joyu's not gonna have his Reaper's Blessing anymore this game. You saw the little like flash of light that's the indicator that his Reaper's Blessing went off. But interesting. You usually don't see like the that go through the shield like that, but it's because his passive went off. Anyway, like I was mentioning, when it starts getting to teamfight territory, Enzo starts to fall off because he really likes having like small skirmishes. Like he likes to pick off one hero at a time. So this could get dangerous here for the side of Vorpal Swords.
Well, he's not really been given much of an opportunity. Black Dragon's done a much better job of kind of rotating as a unit in this map.
Yeah, they're just letting Hayate do his own thing in the bottom lane. Hasn't really ended up in a whole lot of gold for him though. He still only has 4.8k. Yugami may be in trouble. Joji comes in, or Joji, excuse me. Dimensional 4 doesn't do a whole lot. Fantasy Fan's still trying to run away from Corrupt, and Corrupt's not letting it go. They end up dying in the end for that. And now the side of Black Dragon's in trouble. Yeah, Black Dragon's in trouble now. Oh, Oreos wants that kill. He's so bloodthirsty. That's going to be at least this second tower, potentially the high ground. Are they going to continue to go for it? Violet's really good at
I think they are.
sieging. That's a really nice ult. Oh, SoCal. On the run. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was rough. And there you go. Exactly what you said from Zip.
I mean,
sucked everybody up to save.
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't seen any super crazy saves from Zip. That's the thing, like, Zip can... He's so hit or miss, right? He can be absolutely ridiculously broken in a game, and he can also literally do, like, nothing, or nothing that a normal support wouldn't be able to do. And then there's the games where he actively just trolls and loses you the game by picking up and dropping off in some random place.
That's pretty much all I've experienced so far.
That was actually really good timing on the Lumia ult. Nearly had it, but good job by Vorpal Swords. Make sure to pick it up.
What's the level 3 cooldown on Lumia's ult?
Oh god, you're putting me in the spot. I think it's like 50 seconds. Minus CDR. She does have 30% CDR in her build. I imagine she has 10% in her enchantments too. The yellow one, forgetting the name.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I think it's like Sacred Beach or something like that.
Oh, I don't know any of the names.
I mean,
but I did actually actively look at them after the stream last week.
I mean, I went out of my way to memorize them, and now I've forgotten, so now I feel bad. Oreos? Hello? He's fine. Just a Darcy passing through. Oreos. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oreos. Wow, they nearly kill each other.
And then, after he saves the tower, his team shows up.
Nice of you to show up, guys. SoCal's in deep. I don't know if he can survive this, though. Yeah, no, he can't. Oh, ult on to Yugami. Doesn't Isn't able to get his banish off, which means he's down. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Joey. Oh, the ultimate Enzo battle. Who's the real Enzo?
Nice.
Oh, Hayate. Hayate ruining things as always.
Seems fair.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He's so close.
Is he gonna die to the dragon?
It really looked like he was.
So this is problematic.
Minions, dragon.
Yeah, 4v2 plus the dragon. And 2 lanes pushing. Are they gonna go for the game? They might be able to have it. Oh, the suck in! He sucks it in!
There it is.
Go the core! Just dive the core! Sokka's saying, Quaila. Oh, goodness. Good night. No minions, though. They can probably just go through mid. But they just want to kill people. They're just bloodthirsty. Good night. That's it. That's gonna be game. They're all 5 down. 8 seconds on the hat. They respawn. And that is going to be a Vorpal Swords with a 2-0.
It's always nice to end on a quad kill.
Remind me again, this is a best of 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's over. I made sure to be as vague as possible when I was calling that last time. Orange is making fun of me saying Enzo. It's just too tempting. Anyway, MVP Fantasy Fan was doing ridiculous damage at the end there, just completely bursting people down. And Hayate, first pick Hayate, 2.6. Not the way you wanna, not the way they envisioned that going, I imagine. Just no damage coming out from the side of Black Dragon.
Yeah.
There was 3 people. Or excuse me, well, 2.5 kind of, if you include Joyu. But basically, the person with the 3rd most damage on the side of Vorpal Swords had the same amount of damage as the most damage on the side of Black Dragon. That's no bueno.
Well, it was.
I feel like Ryugami just loves this build of going Orb of the Magi, Gilded Greaves, the Aegis. Because he did the exact same thing on L'Oreal. The thing is, like, L'Oreal needs to have the defense if she's going to be within multiple members. But if you're Lumia, there's other ways to get CDR. Right, and you really just want to blow them up. You don't. You want to blow them up every time they get stuck in your ult. They need to be just like chunked down. Right, and I think that the Aegis really hurt their chances. Honestly, there's not. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like comparisons between L'Oreal and Lumia, right? Very low cooldown, lots of spamming, but they play completely differently. And I think there's really very little reason to go for the Aegis, or even if there is a reason, it's completely outweighed by the fact that you're losing so much damage.
So, in any mage, I feel like you should always go for other options for cooldown. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, L'Oreal's like really the only exception. The thing, what you can do if you really want to go, I mean, if I'm Illumi, honestly, I just forgo the Gilded Greaves. I just go straight Orb of the Magi, and then
cooldown.
Yeah, the flashy boots, and then all of a sudden you're at essentially 35% CDR on the ult because you have the enchantment, and then you're done. Right? It's like, what is that? 3,000 gold? Less than 3,000 gold, you're done. You have all the CDR, then you go just full damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've never been able to get L'Oreal down. I've tried
L'Oreal
many times.
L'Oreal,
Either one, but L'Oreal.
I mean,
I can't.
I mean,
I've tried to adjust pretty much all builds.
You mean playing as
to
them?
to yeah, just I mean I feel like I'm doing everything right,
L'Oreal's
but
actually
it
super.
takes too long for me to do.
L'Oreal's actually super easy to play these days because her end game, her late game is basically transport to her early game with Devil's Awakening. You just pop your ult, you're like wee 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 wee. Feels good.
Maybe I should try her the now that it's I guess I'm not gonna say it's easier. Yeah, I guess it is easier.
It's way easier. Okay, that is that game. Who do we have next? We have Don't Ban Lindis versus Buenos Burritos Baratos. Correct?
We do. I'm roping everyone in now. So you want to take about a 5 minute break?
Sure thing. See you in a bit, guys. All right. Oh, lol. Welcome back, guys, to the PVL. That hesitation by me was seeing a full lobby and seeing people getting ready and saying they were ready to start the game, and then one person drops out at that very moment. Such is life, Jerry. Here at the PVL, the Dash for
You're a
Cash.
hopeful guy. You know, it's something I appreciate about you.
Yeah. We had some switches in the lineups. That's the reason for the delay. But we should have a good old game between Don't Ban Lindis and Buenos Burritos Bratos coming up soon. By the way, Hitman really wants to be mod in my Discord. And so he's like, if I win, he will make me mod. And it wasn't even like a request, it was like a demand.
He was just letting you know what the expectation was and wasn't giving you any choice.
Alright, we have our fifth player on our second team. Literally nameless. It's just a bunch of spaces.
No, it's faux.
It's faux.
Yeah, it's just in a weird character, like weird font or something.
You're a weird character.
That is true.
It's okay, we all are.
I was talking. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. I was talking to a dev from a competitive gaming company game earlier today, and they were like, "So how'd you get sucked at, or how'd you start doing this? Like, what made you start running these tournaments and doing this?" And I'm like, I think it's because I like to see how much I can take.
What? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, it's always something. Like, you have a plan, and you've got it all worked out, and there's always going to be like 15 rando things that happen. This one's actually been really smooth compared to the original season of PVL, that 12-week, 16 teams. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was signing up for.
Well, now you're a seasoned professional.
Ooh.
So we have
Don't ban Lindis.
yeah. Is that on the right or left? Or sorry, is BB in the left, right? Yes.
Yeah, Don't Ban Lindis is the red team. So they have stuck true to their team name.
Well, I don't know. Was it a demand or was it a prompt?
Well,
was it a
fair
promise? You know, I mean, they didn't ban Lindis, but maybe they were telling the other team to not ban Lindis. Hold on, I need to check to see if this will fit in the screen. Not really. Well, I can move it left.
Kind of impressed that you typed that whole team name out.
Huh? What? Don't ban Lindis.
Buenos Burritos Baratos?
Oh no, it's BBB on the
yeah.
thingy bobber. On the actual score thingy. Alright. That will go away for now, and we'll bring you back later.
This should be a really good match. Hitman, Ninja, Hunter, Vengeance, Johnny 5, Foe even. Like, a lot of these names are names that people should be familiar with if you've watched any of the regional tournaments. They're very, well, I won't say very well known. They're pretty well known in the competitive community for Arena of Valor, so
yep.
They should put on a show.
We got a first pick, the RC. I'm just gonna call him that from now on, if that's okay. Because otherwise, why would they have
it? The new skin. Yes,
it's the new skin. Why would they have the apostrophe if his name wasn't pronounced the RC?
I don't have it in me to say that. That's way too much effort.
No, it's just, and it's fun. It's a fun way to say it.
It's
I'm not even
probably
joking. Not even
true.
joking. When I'm moving heroes around in my tier list, I'm like, all right, so Enzo goes here, and the RC goes there. The RC. Anyway, it's just fun, and it just makes me like angry at the game. Like, why is there apostrophe there? Like Ozenka. Like, why is there need to be? It's like Ozenka. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, there already is like a break in the voice, right? When you say Ozenka. Ozenka. For the longest time, I thought that there was a apostrophe between the K and the N in Kriknak. So Kriknak. They should put an
Now that you say
apostrophe,
that,
right?
was there not at some point?
Or Nekroth
Now
too.
that I'm
Nekroth is the same one, like Nekroth. Between the K and the R. They should just put like two apostrophes in Raz's name, like R apostrophe A apostrophe Z. Just like screw people with people. I'm sorry, having too
You
much
know
fun
what?
with this.
I agree with most of the things that you say. I am against this.
No, you know they should put an apostrophe between the two K's in Grak. So Grak. No.
Not even gonna acknowledge that.
Grak. By the, you know, some people call them Grok, like Grok.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
That's just funny to me. I think the same people that call him Grok are the same people who call Diao-chan Dio-chan.
See, now you're making fun of me. I just Diao Chan.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
already don't like her.
By the way, while we're talking about names in general, what did you say the guy's name was? In my screen, it's just blank.
It is Foe.
Foe?
Foe.
F-O-U?
Foe.
F-O-E. Alright. How come you can see it and I can't? Is it because of the emulator?
Yeah. It's Android. It doesn't show on Android stuff, but it'll show on Apple.
I see, I see. Orange in chat says, don't get me started with Yebeneth. Yebeneth. They just love the apostrophes. Just makes it more ethnic, I guess.
Nah, not really.
Faux ethnic?
It looks cool, but it's not cool in practice.
Alright. Without looking, is there an apostrophe in Kilgroth's name?
Yeah, no.
I got you so confused.
I'm going with it.
The answer is yes, there is.
Ah,
And there's two capitals.
I knew that. See?
Oh man, this is a fun game. which heroes have an apostrophe and which don't?
I mean, if they were just going crazy, you could throw one in Xenio. You could throw one in Teamy.
Yeah.
You could just Slim apostrophe Z.
Slims. Oh, I'm gonna.
I mean, that one kind of it flows like that. Just seems like something. If they're gonna just jam those in random names. That makes sense.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna go back to something you mentioned at the beginning of the draft, which is the new Darcy skin. Some of these new skins are completely throwing me off because there's like a new because you know how all its abilities are purple, right? Like you can't tell the difference between the dimensional portal and dimensional cube. It's confusing. But in like I was playing on Taiwan and Annette has a new skin. And her I think it's Gust Force, her first ability just looks like a big explosion. So it looks like you know, you're getting hit by like a Diao-chan thing or something like does a lot more damage than than a Net's thing, even though Net does a decent amount of damage. So it's just throwing me off because all these new animations are like, wait, does that do damage or is that okay to walk through?
So this is a good question for you because you may actually have some level of access being on that side of the world. Are the new skins integrating the look of Warsong into Arena of Valor? Because, like, if you look at the Chest Rush characters that are from Warsong, the vibe is like that purpley, like voids in Chest Rush look like these characters.
Oh, I don't know. I only played Warsong for like 2 seconds, so I wouldn't know. I didn't even know that Warsong characters were being integrated into Chest Rush.
No, all the characters in Chest Rush are from Warsong.
Oh, is that what that is? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I see.
So we have a couple good players on.
Yeah, Ninja TK with only rank 29 Conquer. What a scrub.
I mean, get your life together.
So this is going to be a pretty high level match. We didn't see, obviously, the ranks for the side of Don't Ban Lindis, but I'm pretty sure that the like S and XB and Johnny 5 are way up there. If not, like, more people. Interesting, though, that they go for the Greg. They actually first picked Greg, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And Teamy, I just haven't seen much lately. They did all these light nerfs to him. But he's still strong, right?
Yeah, he's fine. The problem with him is that like all supports aren't great nowadays. Ooh, nice knockback by Johnny 5. So
but didn't they reduce his gold intake substantially?
No. I mean they did, but he was still meta after that. Avengers taking a lot of damage, but I had to flicker away. Oh, the hook! Oh, beautiful!
Love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness, the flicker hook. Not, you know, at the same exact time, but close enough.
Ninja wanted to do that so bad.
Hitman. That's next speed jumps on him. Oh my goodness, he knew what was going on. He's like, I have the beef behind me, or the muscle, I should say.
Oh, foe.
I feel like Crickneck is way better than Necroth in the meta right now. Like, Necroth seems like he's gone back to his old nibbly self. He just nibbles, doesn't kill people. Whereas Crickneck, he kills people dead. Like, dead.
Yeah.
And look at that. He's, like, not afraid to just jump on a tank because he knows he can kill them. As I say that, though, Necroth, very nice knock-up.
Oh.
Hitman trying to make something happen, but ends up dying in the end to that second ability. And Crickneck dies as well.
Crickneck was not in a good place. Teamy's going hard. I love it.
And that is 4 for 2, I believe, in favor of BBB. The fight lasted so long that people started reviving by the time it was done. So that's kind of hard to tell. By the way, very on brand for Zeus to pick Gilder.
Seems fair.
I just noticed we have a lane slims. That is not something you see every day. Like, usually you pick slims because you've run out of marksman junglers and you just want to go marksman jungler. But to like actively pick slims for the lane is kind of bizarre to me. Someone's going in, tries to take out Vengeance, does so very easily with the help of Ninja TK. That is quite the burst damage.
Yeah. I mean, we're still early in the game, so it's not like he's got a crazy amount of damage reduction in health. But
yeah, well, that's
fast.
That's why Crickneck is so good, right? Because he has so much damage right from the get-go. Like, he can just rotate at 4 and take out a tank. No biggie. They are jumping on this mid tower, and that's very dangerous. Zeus tries to get everyone with the ult. Uses
Oh,
the Mark of Frost, gets the hook in to get one. Oh, very nice
Johnny
World
Five
Devour.
gets away.
Yeah, the World Devour is extremely nice though. Hunter unable to he's nearly able to get the bloody kiss off, but doesn't get it off in the end.
Hitman is so
Hit.
close to getting there to.
Oh, I think he did pop the Reaper's Blessing though. Vengeance is dead. Johnny Five trying to get the revenge. Hitman's around to help, so he's got to run away.
Tell definitely able to get the damage out there, but she was she was way out of range pretty much that whole time.
Yeah, but Hitman. Actually, Hitman looks like he's going for. Oh, he went for the attack speed plus movement speed plus attack damage item. That's basically on the Omni Arms. Forgot what it's called. But oh, hello, Vengeance trying to kill the Ezekiel. He does have his ult up. Or he doesn't have his ult, excuse me. Maybe that's why they went for him. But yeah, so Tell just went into attack speed plus attack damage, and then now it's starting to go into crit. So kind of like 1/3 of Omni Arms, and now going to Clavis Sancti, it looks like. Oh, there's that one. Johnny?
She's...
That could have been really good. Johnny almost had like an amazing
Yeah.
thing for his team there, but his team just didn't follow up. Like, knocked one guy up. Oh, Hitman, you're dead.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Did he get the revive? No, wasn't in range. So wasted ult as well. Hitman dead and wasted ult from Ezekiel. Very, very nice here from Vengeance getting that for his team.
They're gonna hop down on the dragon. Feel like... Oh, man. Now I'm getting the teams mixed up. BBB is red. Don't Ban Lindis is blue.
No, BBB is left side.
See?
Just look at the stream. Johnny's dead.
Oh, that's a fair point. I'm streaming it on my TV, so it's like literally right in my face.
That was an interesting fight. I was like, should I play by play this? Should I actually like talk about what's happening? Because I have no idea what's happening right now. Oh my goodness.
Mid though.
Zohan just taking out multiple heroes, but gets taken out himself. Oh, there's the Reaper's Blessing. That Reaper's Blessing lasts a long time. That Reaper's
lived.
Oh, good night.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, wow.
Ninja.
That was really nice because so Ninja got the dimensional portal off. Zeus is gonna die in the end, but Zeus ended up stunning him so that he couldn't get his dimensional cube. That's what you want to do against Darcy, by the way. Everyone's instinct. I see this all the time. I see this even in the pros. And by pros I mean the top pros, like in playing in, you know, Vietnam and what have you. They'll get caught in dimensional portal, and their instinct is always to run away. But people need to change their instincts against Darcy. When you get caught in dimensional portal, you have to turn around and like stun him, if you can. Right, because if you run away, it just makes it easier for him to get you, because he can just line up his dimensional portal. Even if you don't have a stun, you can just damage him and kind of make him panic a little bit, make him miss his dimensional portal because he's worried about you in front of him. Maybe he like forgets that he has dimensional portal up and tries to hit you with the cube right in his face. He's like, oh, and then he misses you. But regardless, most of the time, unless there's like a team waiting for you, you should not run away, but actually go into him. Hunter tries to jump away there. What's your ult called again? Venom?
I'm gonna say yeah. Yeah.
Just gonna trust me. I feel like that's wrong though. I feel like it's something else. Something like that. Anyway. She's not able to get away. This game is like so just haphazard. People just running around in circles. I mean, no offense to the players, but they're kind of like just running around like chickens with their head cut off.
But they're doing it as a collective unit, both sides.
Well, I would say that's even worse though. I think they should be kind of rotating, you know, independently of each other. Whereas they're really just grouping of his 4, and that usually shouldn't happen until it's like, 13 minutes in. Anyway. Did he go to get Olaf? Yeah, he did. Zohan's still alive.
Oh,
SNXB does get away. It's hard to keep track of everyone's Reaper's blessings, aka Desticle. Like, I thought that SNXB's already went off earlier, but perhaps that was just Zohan's that I was remembering. And like, I think like Johnny 5 had one go off. Orange asks who's ult. Varus's. This is one of the obvious benefits of Necroth, by the way, is like, it's really hard to catch him. Wait, why did he pop his ult there? That was really weird. I guess he figured Zohan wouldn't jump on him. But yeah, he gets away. Basically the best split pushing jungler in the game.
Necro?
Yep. And that's kind of that's part of the appeal, is like, he's always useful. He can always split push if nothing else. I swear, he always gets away with 1 HP. Let's take a look at these builds while we're here. Tel has oh, interesting. So that it looks like it was intentional to go for that green thingy. The green thingy with it's basically attack damage and attack speed. Pushing into this tower here. Vengeance is dead. But actually went for Devil's Handshake, which is very greedy. It just wants maximum attack speed. Basically means that like if you're caught in her arrows, you're gonna die. Speaking of death, Zohan is the Minister of Death right now. They're all dying. They're all falling.
Yeah.
And so too is the core. That's next B. You're sorry. That's next B. You're taking out the wrong minions.
So that definitely went well for BBB.
Yeah, very well played. I think Hitman is extra motivated to become a mod in my Discord. Little does he know that I haven't actually guaranteed that.
Maybe he's just trying to wish it into reality.
Yep. I feel like this was a draft win. I mean, one side is Gildred and Slims, and the other side doesn't.
I mean, it was really strong gameplay from the Darcy. A lot of fun to watch.
I mean, it was just solid on all sides, right? There was no real opening there for Ban Lindis to take advantage of. Not when you have the server's #1 Varus and the #1 Teamy. Oh, that's what feels bad, man. So, I am. You ever play and you just hate inefficiency? Like, this is why I almost never get rank breaker into Muramasa, because they have negative synergy. Even though technically you are adding more Pierce if you get both, but it just decreases the Pierce. So I'm looking at Hunter's build right now, and he goes Gaia Standard into Belt of Clarity, and those passives don't stack. Obviously, he was going into the Medallion of Troy, but I just hate inefficiency so much that I always get Medallion of Troy first, so that the Belt of Clarity passive works while I'm building to Gaia Standard. The obvious issue with that is that Medallion of Troy is so expensive that for a while you're just sitting there waiting to get to that. But I don't know. I like to be efficient.
The cooldown is so worth it.
Yep. Nothing else super strange by these builds. Yep, very, very standard. Except for Hitman. Hitman's all over the place. By the way, if you're at home, you're looking at Hunter's build. He has Astral Spear picked second. Um, I mean, I guess this is mostly known by the top players, but if you're just like a middling player, he goes Astral Spear because Muramasa is extremely good on Varus because it synergizes with her ult, because her ult gives her 35% pierce, and percentage pierce doesn't. It stacks very poorly with raw pierce, but it stacks really really well with percentage pierce from Muramasa because they stack together. So, but the problem is Muramasa is very inefficient early game. So you just go Astral Spear for the extra damage, then you go defense, 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 and then you pick up the Muramasa later. That's a pro tip for you guys at home.
I just wrote every bit of that down.
Nice. And by the way, you know how I like taking victory laps, Jury?
Maybe.
You know I like taking victory laps when people say one thing and I say the other and I'm right. And it's proven out right.
I mean, you've only done it in podcasts and on stream.
This build from Varus is based like literally to the T, like what I said from day one when she came out. I'm like, this is her build. And then pros were doing some other stuff, and people were like, what about this? And then, like, you know, a few months later, yeah. Sorry. I'm also taking a victory lap.
They have made some adjustments. Not to her function, but the damage and stuff. Didn't they increase her damage a couple of times?
They played around with it. They nerfed her and then they buffed her. So the overall effect is a slight nerf. Although they did change her ult a little bit to make it more fun to use. Or more in line with how people are reusing it, I should say. While we're taking victory laps, though, I want to take another victory lap for Fennec. Because I think I was streaming either one of your matches, or it was like the Advanced Sticker Guild, one of the two. It was around that time. And people were experimenting with Fennec, and I had him, like, you know, somewhat high. I just, like, a leap of faith, I put him in tier 1 in my tier list at the time, up from tier 4. And then there were, like, literal pros in the chat being like, Fennec is garbage. And it's like, well, look at me now.
No, I think I remember what you're talking about. You did the Van Stickers thing, and then I think you streamed with TJ for one of our things, like the next day, or I think a couple of days later.
I don't think it was TJ. I think it was what's his name? I forget. I've cast him with like multiple times. I'm forgetting his name. Dominic. There you go.
Oh yeah. You know, he did our an event the other day for us and killed it.
Nice. Anyway, speaking of Fennec,
banned again.
Yeah, don't ban Lindis, they said. Always gets banned. Varus ban is perfectly reasonable, especially because apparently Hunter is the #1 Varus. Although it's weird that they would ban Varus and pick Florentino, because Florentino is basically counters Varus. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just don't like Crixie.
Oh, she's good now.
What?
You didn't know this?
I mean, I've played against her a couple of times over the last few days, but I haven't seen anything. It's like Diamond.
It's the same reason.
Or something.
It's the same reason. It's Devil's Awakening. So she uses her 1, her 2, and then she pops her ult, and then it's like, oh, I got another 1, and another 2. Let me just see if this is lining up here. Oops.
Wait a minute. So I can get 2 ones with Natalia.
No, but you're while you're ulting, you're just sitting there. Like she kind of already had that.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was just picturing spamming the 1. It's really just what I want. To remove cooldowns and let me play Natalia.
You can already spam the 1. Just have to hit it.
Well, I never claimed to be, a marksman. You have to hit all of them, right? Doesn't it give you like a percentage for each orb?
Yeah, every one you hit is like something like 5 or 10%. But if you hit all of them, it's literally like zero cooldown.
Yeah. Scud, huh?
This is the old Scud counter Florentino, like, fallacy. I've explained this multiple times, but I think it bears explaining again. People who are on the Reddits and all that kind of stuff saying, Scud counters Florentino, I swear. It's like, not by himself, he doesn't. It needs to be good coordination with the team. Basically, every once in a while, when the jungler rotates over, you gank him with Scud and the other guy, and you kill him dead before he can do any dual combo nonsense. Whereas if you have a different side laner, like, I don't know, Kilgroth or even like Varus or something like that, you'll chunk him down and then he'll just 2v1 you. So that's what Scud is. The Scud is like, he ensures that ganks work against Florentino. That's the only thing he does. People who are like, oh, I just burst Florentino down and kill him with Scud. It's like, no, you're playing it's a very bad Florentino.
Do you think the Nacroth really deserved a ban?
This is one of those things. This happens in pro matches as well, where the people who play the heroes the most fear them the most because they overvalue them. So SNXB is the best Necroth on the server, according to that little symbol thingy. So he's like, Necroth's really good, and then he bans on Necroth. It's like, I don't think they were gonna pick him. I would ban Crickneck here.
Yeah.
Because that's Crickneck and Scud are fantastic pairing. Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Like, Crickneck and Scud is like terrifying if you're Florentino. It's like the only thing that just like wipes you out. Morin. And the question is, are they picking a marksman jungler or not? Cappany would suggest lane, obviously. Don't Slim's lane. Please. I feel like they're listening to the cast. And just
I would imagine so.
I'll show you.
Well, if they were listening to the cast... No, not even that. I'm with you. I'm sort of with you on the Slim's lane thing. Or Slim's period.
Well, Slim's lane was played by the side of Don't Ban Lindis, who is on our left side right now. And I think maybe Hitman was like, I'll show you how to play Slim's lane. I think I'd prefer Marja here. Yeah, I think Yin is better than Dioma. So what's going on right now is that our blue team has Violet in the jungle already, so they want a flexible abyssal laner, basically a melee abyssal laner that can deal with marksman. Richter kind of does that. Yina kind of does that. Marja kind of does that. Yoma doesn't do it quite as well as he used to be able to do that, so that's the issue. Looks like they're going for Wonder Woman support, though. Support Wonder Woman. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. Or support Richter, actually. It could be support Richter.
Yeah, the Richter makes a little more sense to me.
The thing is, like, Richter makes more sense both as a support and the Abyssal laner, so that's why I'm kind of hung up on it, right? Like, Wonder Woman is not going to do very well against Telenos. Or Telanius. I can't. That's one of those other things. I'm like, every time I'm doing my tier list and I'm moving heroes around, I just have like the weird ways I say things. Like one time Matt Andrews said Telanius, so I just call her Telanius now when I'm talking to myself. Telanius, the RC, and Chulin.
My favorite one is, I think I mentioned this a while ago, but Teleanus.
Nice.
Never gets old. There's nothing there to indicate that.
There's an apostrophe. You never know. You never know what it's supposed to indicate. You can just stop your breath, I guess. Tell Anas. Tell Anis. Or I'll just say like the. I've been playing so much AOV on Taiwan that I'll just say like the Taiwanese name. Kurishi. Which is Crixie.
Huh.
Or like.
How do you say Chognar?
I forgot what I think it was like. Just some of them are phonetic, and some of them are the actual like word. Like violet is like Jing, I think, which is violet in Chinese, I guess.
Well, that just doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, like Sephora has like a one character, one syllable name as well. Telenos has like a freaking 4 character name, which is super long. It's like Taylor Anasu or something like that.
I'm so excited about this Darcy situation. Just ignore me.
Alright.
As you were already.
I love how it shows Zill and Crixie already having bought like Arctic Orb, even though it's just the Mark of the Frost enchantment. I mean, I know that it's people know that it shows that in the item build, which is confusing, but I never knew that it showed it at the beginning of the game as like it shows them buying it next to their portrait. It's kind of funny. Who's lagging? I can't see the person in the bottom left. Is that Wonder Woman? Maybe put some letters in your name, Wonder Woman. Maybe you won't lag then.
It's Florentino.
You know what? Florentino needs to cut his hair, otherwise he looks way too much like Wonder Woman. Especially when he's in the corner and I can only see hair.
Wonder Woman's hiding in the bushes. Foe.
Well, they're not in the bushes anymore.
No, I'm going hard for this blue buff. They don't get it. And
Zohan's like, mine, thank you.
And then he just kind of hung out for a second, just trying to tempt them to attack him.
Okay, so
Hitman's moving in hard, takes Johnny 5 out.
Good night.
With a quickness.
Yeah, flicker over the wall. He dashed and then flickered. And Zeus tried to invade Zohan again, and Zohan's like, no, you're not taking my buffs, I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, Crixie rotates up. They should seem like they should be in a position to where, well, to where they could kill him, but they just don't.
It's always weird to me to see Arum in a bush being unseen.
Yeah.
Ever since that change.
I've always wanted to say that change made sense, but it really doesn't.
I mean, it makes sense with regards to like gameplay, not like.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of gameplay,
Zill is
BBB
just crushing dreams.
Yeah, BBB is all up in there. Good night. What was that? A 4-for-1? I want to say. Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, 4-for-1 because they got the kill earlier from Scud.
Oh yeah.
So if you guys don't know, pre 3 minutes, all the towers have extra resistance. People think that only the Darkslayer lane has that, but the Darkslayer lane has extra resistance. So that's why that tower is hard to kill.
It's a pretty substantial amount, isn't it? Like 250 armor or something.
Hold that thought. I believe that it's like a percentage, not an armor amount, but I could be wrong. Like a damage resistance, because I think that like true damage is like reduced as well.
Yeah, I just remember it being a paragraph. And then I read to the bottom of that page on d2aov.com. And I just got your gist on it and decided that I had all the information I needed. Oh, they burst her down quickly. A lot of damage to Richter as well, but he was able to get just far enough back to be safe.
Yeah, I think Hunter may have hit quite a few crits there. Has double gloves, probably has some crit in the Arcana as well. So, assuming, I mean, he could be as high as like 16% in or crits in his Arcana. You add that to the 24 from the gloves, and it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's like 40% without even having a tier 3 item.
And the red team is just ruthlessly overpowering their jungle.
Good rotation.
They really got to do something about this giant rotation, though.
Yeah, Ban Lindis a good job of not trying to match, but rather just playing, rotating to the other side themselves. So that allows them to get a kill and a tower up top. Still, though, it's about a 2 Kegel deficit. I feel like Richter should have picked a support item, even if it's just like Windstone, because he's really suffering gold right now.
Yeah, and he's not been in any of the lanes long enough to get anything going. He's not pushing minions. I mean, I don't know what he's doing, actually.
I mean, he's basically the support, but he's not really helping his team out that much. I mean, it's not like let's be fair to him. It's not like his team could have been helped that much by support, but I just think that like the way the game's going, he would have been a lot better off having that Windstone.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about nearly a 4-level difference between Zell and
Johnny 5 just like will not Richter. Die. Literally, all 5 members going after him. He's like, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Finally, Richter does go down.
So all this running around has led to 3 towers for the side of Don't Ban Lindis. It's actually pretty nice. You don't typically get 3 towers when you're down 3,000 gold.
Well, they're just playing smart.
Let's see if someone in particular is farmed up here. Taking a look at Violet, 4.2k, so that's something. Violet is basically tied for Zill with the most gold in the game. Oops, missed that one. Good night. Oh, I don't think that was that an intentional Mark of the Frost? Kind of a weird place to use it. Oh, was he Dimensional Portal? Is that why? Might have been why.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, Violet 4.5k gold. Still now behind Zill, but it'll definitely hurt. So that's kind of what the side of Don't Ban Lindis is relying on right now, is for SNXP to start going off.
A nice little push. Moving in on bottom. A little bit of a weight on minions. Surprised they're just gonna hang out in the other team's jungle. But they don't really have any kind of opposition. I mean, they're pretty much pushing uncontested.
Just Wonder Woman pick, I gotta say, has not been working out.
Yeah.
She's not been doing a whole lot here.
She just died for her team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but did she do anything to help her
Oh,
team?
yeah.
She died for her team, but she didn't do anything to help them. Zohan just walking through towers. If he's not careful, he's gonna get dimensional walks on. Anyway, 6k gold lead. Pretty substantial tower advantage right now for BBB. Not looking good for Don't Ban Lindis.
And there's a pretty solid difference in player level, too.
So, Johnny 5, interestingly enough, has gone for Orb of the Magi first into Apocalypse. It's not necessarily wrong, but he's taken a long time to hit his power spike.
Well, yeah.
As you can see. He's dead. That's next we're trying to get one more Tactical Fire off. Actually, Tactical Fire probably would have killed Zohan there. He had it ready. I'm not sure if he was out of range. It's starting to get out of control. That's next we needs to just carry this fight right now. Misses on the ult completely. There's the ult coming out here. Ezekiel, nice, and he just deads Zeus.
Oh wow, I wasn't even sure Zill was gonna make it over here to his team. I figured they'd have ended by now.
Just walk across the towers, it's fine. No big deal.
Yeah, there was no other chance for a different outcome. They just pretty much dominated that whole map. There wasn't any response that could have turned it around in time, I don't think.
Yep, very well played by BBB. We had someone in chat earlier saying that blue team was completely stacked with, Darcy, Florentino, Violet, and Richter, but gotta give it to BBB for their execution. Also, like, bit more synergy in their team. Like, it seems like the blue side was kind of like, let's pick good heroes, and then they didn't really mesh together. Like, Violet needs a frontline in front of her, and there wasn't much of a frontline for her in this team.
Yeah. Well,
that means we have BBB versus Vorpal Swords in the final. And both teams were pretty dominant, so I'm looking forward to this one. Oh goodness, look at this. So Johnny 5 had the most damage on his team by a wide margin, 31%, and yet he had less
Jeez.
damage than 4 players on the side of PvP. Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get everybody together, get the lobby set up. Should you want to take like a 2-minute break or something while I get this together?
Yep, sounds good.
Shouldn't take long.
All right, see you in a couple minutes, guys. All right, welcome back to the Premier Gaming PVL Dash for Cash. We're getting some cash. Jury, lots of cash. Am I doing a good job at...
It's just dash right through.
If I just speak softly into the microphone, is it considered ASMR?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just make people fall asleep during our Arena of Valor stream.
This has nothing to do with Arena of Valor. But I was flipping through Twitch the other day, and there was this girl. I think I want to say there were like 67,000 people watching the stream.
67,000 concurrent?
67,000 concurrent. And she was taking common household items, for example, an empty water bottle, and crinkling it into the microphone. And just random stuff like that. Yeah, 67,000 people wanted to see that.
Jesus. 67 concurrents makes you like a multi-millionaire. For you guys at home, if she's monetizing it.
Alright. Looks like we are ready.
Like you can make $1 million in like 1 month with, if that, with 67,000 concurrents.
Blue team's turn to ban.
I don't know. That makes you sad. Sorry. All right. Speaking of money, $100 for the winner. Yes, $50 for the finalist.
Yep. Now this should be interesting because, and I've stated this pretty much both days, Vorpal Swords is familiar with competitive play, but I don't know that they are familiar with competitive play at the level. That's my dog. At the level of BBB.
They're not familiar with the level of your dog.
Blue team's turn to ban.
No one's familiar with the level of your dog. And he's gone.
5, maybe 6 pounds. He's ruthless.
As is Team BBB.
Yeah.
So, they banned Quillen and Florentino, which means there's lots of possibilities here. Got Hayat. I call him Hayat from now on. You got Zip. You got...
I feel like they're going to pick Zip. I just feel it.
They're thinking about it.
Or... Okay.
Okay. Sure. Why not? I mean, who needs good heroes, right?
Yeah. Oh, Rourke, yeah. Let's just,
I mean, Rourke... Okay. Any counter picks here, like, kind of makes sense, right? Because Rourke just, like, beats up on Yebedeth. But, like, anytime you first pick someone, that's just bizarre. Actually, that is a good question. Pokemon asks in the YouTube chat, is this best of 3 or best of 5?
it is best of 3.
Alright.
Nothing crazy.
What if you pick Yebedeth and Zip?
I feel like that's...
That's cheating.
Huh. No, I mean, I feel like that's a real possibility.
Oh!
Yes.
What if you play Zip not as a support? Like Zip, like mid or something. Zip jungle.
I would argue, and lose, but I would argue that a lot of supports could easily mid well.
Right, because they can rotate.
But, well, that's not an okay thing to say in North America. because they just refuse to do it. Like the whole Elsu thing when he first came out, there were all these write-ups and all this like long, videos about how great he is mid, and I think I've seen him mid like twice, and it's only been in competitive like tournaments. It's never in normal game.
Yeah, people just refuse. I think it's because like there are just too many mage players out there. There's too many like, people who they want to pick their mage and they want to go mid and they don't care who you pick.
Blue team's turn to ban.
So we eventually did get Zip and Hayate, just like
To ban.
in weird orders. Maybe they're on. Maybe BBB knows something that we don't, like Yabineth counter Zip or something weird like that. So they didn't want to first pick Zip.
Does he though? I mean,
Well, I don't. I have no analysis behind that. I have no like, this is maybe why he counters him. Like I'm just like throwing stuff against the wall and seeing if it sticks.
To pick.
Because I have no idea why they're picking Yabineth first.
to be honest, it seemed like a complete statement of disrespect. Just leaving it all on the table, and we're gonna pick a tree. Bring at us what you will. And they got a Nakaron.
So far, Vorpal Swords is Team Slippery. It's really hard to kill these guys. Which is not good, honestly, if you are BBB. Because there's not a whole lot of kind of like chase potential here
To pick.
on their side so far.
Well, the good news is lumber.
Yeah, I feel like an Alice would have been really good here. Like, just go all in on being Zoom. Make it impossible to kill you. This almost certainly has to be almost certainly, I was going to say, has to be a marksman jungler, considering what they've picked so far. Or a mage jungler, one of the two. So I'm guessing Yabineth, DS, Varus, Abyssal, Zip, support? Question mark? Or I guess Yabineth can kind of play Abyssal a little bit. Oh, I think maybe that's why. I think I figured it out. They knew that Vorpal Swords would pick Hayate and not Zip. And they wanted to have Yabineth to counter Hayate. Because Hayate Yabineth can kind of be tanky enough in the Abyssal lane to kind of shrug off Hayate. And still be able to draft a non-assassin jungler. I know Azil's technically classified an assassin, but he's a mage.
So, final pick Vorpal Swords. What do you think?
What do they need? A DS laner? I think they can go for like Omen or something. Weiro. Weiro hasn't received his buff yet on NA. I'm sorry to let you guys know. I mean, it's an honest thing to say, because I don't know how many of these players are Taiwanese, but it's possible they were playing on Taiwan and Weiro's actually like decent there because he got a damage buff, but he doesn't have that damage buff here.
Does he believe just that Weiro has maybe enough sustain just to hang in there so Hayate and Darcy can just dump damage?
Well, Weiro's going to be in the DS lane, so he's going against
10 seconds.
Varus, presumably. And he is not going to win that matchup. Not in a million years.
Yeah, especially not against Ninja.
Actually, they've mixed up their heroes. If you recall, Ninja, or excuse me, Hunter was the number one Varus on the server, but they switched it over to Elsu, and now Ninja's on Varus, whereas Ninja was the Darcy, I believe, before.
Yeah, but Ninja's been on multiple variations of Vini Vidi Vici, and he has played multiple roles at a pretty high level. I I just really wouldn't want to play against him in any situation.
By the way, Chrono Fade has Endless Cycle enchantment.
Get ready. Minions will be
The
Which
which revives you.
oh,
You get 3 revives. It doesn't revive you on the spot. It revives you in the fountain. And it has like 300 seconds. It's like a massive cooldown that goes up during the game. Fantasy Fan, that was not a good idea. Fun fact, Fantasy Fan, or excuse me, Lumber, his passive is called Protect. It's a very creative name. When you're near an ally, you and the ally get extra magic defense and armor. But if you're not with an ally, it can be pretty problematic. Ninja is just all in there. One more auto! Oh my god.
I cannot believe that played out that way.
Well, Ninja was too... If Ninja had just sat there and autoed and built up stacks of her passive, could have stayed alive a lot longer than that. But he was so gung-ho on killing Fantasy Fan that he was walking forward rather than trying to get his stacks up.
I think I'm already getting like a low-level version of what you were talking about. Yevneth and Hayate.
By the way, turns out Varus is mid. I mean, obviously we've seen Varus mid a bit in the past, and that's exactly the reason why we see Varus in mid, is because she can just kind of bully in and around the mid lane, like you just saw there. But wasn't expecting that because you don't typically see Elsu in the DS lane.
Yeah, see Wiro Hayate just clearing jungle creeps, but I don't see. When I say Hayate, I meant Nakaroth, but it seems like he should have maybe moved into the blue jungle and taken that whole section rather than rent it.
I'm sorry, Hitman didn't hit a single.
What did I miss?
Hitman didn't hit a single like seedling. Just for that, Hitman, you're not getting mod in my channel.
For that one reason, his dreams are denied.
Exactly.
Oh my god, kill Chrono.
I mean, Ninja's already tried that before and it failed spectacularly, so I can see why he didn't go for it. Wait, where's Joyu going? Lag, 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 Joyu, lag! No!
Oh, that was awful.
Oh no. He's just like, I'm going to walk into this tower now. Hunter. Hunter?
Nakaroth did get the jump on somebody.
This always happens with it, by the way. Ezekiel's like, I'm here to shield you and suck you up, and Hunter's like, I don't need you anymore, go away.
Oh, that chicken suit is so awful.
Hey, chickens for dinner, or something like that. Something something Fortnite, something something. Or PUBG. Is there a chicken dinner in Fortnite?
I have no idea.
I know it's a PUBG thing.
And that's a nice jump on Oreos.
By the way, this is why I hate explosive shield. Oh, never mind. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Down goes Darcy. Down goes Necroth. Down goes everyone.
Down goes
Oh
the
my
tower.
goodness. Joe, you kill everyone! Joe, you with the kunai blitz. Ninja TK low. Gets healed. Do you know what happened in that fight? Because I don't. Just a lot of death.
A lot of people took damage.
Oh, that was a nice snipe.
Yeah, that Tetris recall, fantastic.
Did
That might be
D2
my favorite thing added to the game in the last 6 months.
Did D2 just say PUBG? Okay, they call it PUBG in Japan. Come on. I'm sorry. Like, for a long time when I was at Samurai Gamers, there were people who worked on PUBG, and they all called it PUBG, because they don't say, like, acronyms out. Or you say acronyms differently.
Isn't it bigger in like, isn't that where the spot for PUBG is?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either. I tried to play it. I can't.
We was trying. Hunter's just completely ignoring him and killing the tower, and Chronoface tried to kill him. Hunter's like, no. And look, this is Zip. Zip. That's why Zip is so good. He's like, I'm out of here. Except Hunter jumped out. Wait, why did Hunter jump out? What? I was like, I panned the camera down because I assumed that Hunter was in there, but he wasn't, because he jumped out for some strange reason. He's like, no, I'm gonna fight, and then he didn't. I'm so confused. What is happening?
Chrono's there taking damage. Period. That's what was happening.
What a dumb fight. Oh my goodness. Oh my god! Okay, this is why you don't get explosive shield. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, why get explosive shield when it's never going to go off? It's impossible to go off. And then when it does, it doesn't do a whole lot. Like you just saw there. Like, explosive shield finally went off in the most protracted battle ever. And it still didn't even stun the Hayate. So what's the point?
The Zip gameplay is just...
This is a bug that they need to fix. When you suck up a golem, I'm not sure if they fix this in Taiwan, but when you suck up a golem and spit him out somewhere else, as it's walking back, it doesn't regain health like really fast like it normally would when it's leashing. So you can just kill it.
Is it like a percentage based on how far of the walk he's made?
No. Whenever something leashes, whenever anything leashes, they usually get a ton of health, like very, very fast, right? But it doesn't do that at all if you pull it away with Zip. Run, Weiro, run! Use that sprint.
It also would seem to me that if you took minions from lane A and took them to lane, that they should just get in line with the other minions in whatever lane they're in.
It is a massive
But
bet,
the
by the way.
fact that they walk... Huh?
What?
Oh.
Where were you looking? It's like the fight of the century, and you're like, well, see, the thing is...
Yeah,
What?
I was absolutely watching the stream and not my iPad.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And so Vorpal swords did not come out of that very well.
No, they did not. There was
They're
a...
pushing tower.
I heard Weiro charging up his ult. I'm not even sure if it went off because nothing happened. There was a massive venom from Ninja onto literally like 5 members. And even though he died, probably was a big reason why they won the fight. But now they've overstayed the welcome and they're going down. Sucking everyone. Suck him up, Ezekiel.
Huh?
Are
Pretty
you
close on kills.
Are you okay?
No, I was just looking at the stats, so I'm like, close on kills. The tower. I mean, it's 2 towers, but it's not substantial. Pretty much, they're in line on Abyssal, but there's still a pretty substantial gold difference.
Ninja TK is just taking on everyone. But eventually gonna die to Hitman. Oh, maybe not. Oh.
Chrono! Oh my god, did Weiro get a kill?
No, I think it was Hayate.
That's-
Oh my
Chrono
god.
is trying so hard to make this Weiro thing work.
Oh my goodness. Hayate! Oh my goodness.
And the dragon.
Hitman is
No.
going off. Ezekiel coming in.
Oh,
Rolling
that's-
in, literally.
Yeah.
Good night.
You know, for a brief moment there, I thought he was going to get.
So, wait, is Joey gonna get the dragon off? Let's see.
I don't.
So they got the Abyssal, I mean the Dark Slayer, obviously. And then they had a terrible team fight. Dragon? No dragon! No!
Oh,
Oh,
that's.
but maybe the kill. Just kidding. That's...
Nah.
Nah, he's fine. It's a Yevoneth, it's fine.
So as they're defending top, Elsu's bottom taking towers. Pretty much pressure in every lane. So seems like the best thing to do, if possible, would be to get one of these high grounds. I don't think they're in a situation that they can.
I totally forgot that Zip's stun thingy hasn't been nerfed on NA yet. So when he stuns two people, like that little like globby thing on them, when they pull apart, they get stunned as well. Whereas the new change is that they don't get stunned anymore. Up, Hitman in trouble. Pops his ult. Oh, but gets sucked in. Oh no, gets trolled by his own
man.
team. I don't know if he would have died if he had still his ult, but they are not doing well in this fight. Zip trolling his own team. Zohan's coming in trying to help out. Oh, there he goes. Gets a kill.
That was
Maybe.
a huge.
Yeah, he gets another one. Zohan's still going in.
huge
Gets the...
change.
Wow.
And the pendulum swings right back.
I cannot
three of them up.
believe. I cannot believe how far that swung the other way.
Can they finish?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
And no one's up for another 15 seconds. They just need to tank the tower shots a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. GG.
I don't know if I should be grateful or complaining about the massive amount of action. Because every time we try to make a point or like talk about something, they're like, we're going to have an amazing fight. But I guess I should be thankful that they had actually really good fights.
Yeah, they pretty. I mean, from start to finish in both these matches, they just went in hardcore. Didn't seem to be terribly concerned, and even when it kind of swung to one side, they still were able to just maintain throughout the length of the fight. You mentioned earlier, some of these fights were really, really long and kind of dragged from mid all the way to bottom. I mean, it didn't seem like the fights ever actually stopped.
Well, the funny thing is that both sides had like two big beefy frontliners, or I guess three on the side of BBB, right? In Varus, Zip, and Yevoneth, and then you have Lumber and Weiro on the side of Vorpal Swords. And so that if they were fighting primarily with those heroes, it would take forever, right?
Right.
But everything's like kind of hanging on like balancing on a knife's edge, because at any moment, if Hayate can get stacks on any hero, all of a sudden he's doing true damage. He kunai blitzes and everyone's dead. Or like, you know, maybe Varus hits a nice bloody kiss and then they're just taken out by Zohan or Hunter or something like that. So like it was kind of like a knife's edge. That's why they were able to win that, and they had enough damage. Like Necroth had like zero. Necroth had zero to do in those fights. Like even before looking at his score, I like knew he would have the lowest score, just because, and it wasn't really his fault. I mean, it was their fault for picking Necroth, but there was like nothing he could do, right? Like how if he tries to jump on like Elsu just runs away below towers, or one of his team helps him, or like Zip picks him up. You can't really, you're not gonna ever kill Varus, Zip, or Yevoneth. And if you try to jump on Zil, he's going to ult and just go invulnerable. So Honestly, the number one reason I would say that Vorpal Swords lost the game is they picked Necroth. Not that necessarily the Necroth played bad. It's the fact that they picked Necroth.
Well, I mean, they select him when there were, zips on the board. Like, there were multiple people that I think should have been a more priority pick than jungle. And instead they picked a jungle that, where is Nakroth in the meta list?
He's pretty high. The issue is you can't
Really?
just... Yeah, you can't... The problem is you can't just pick someone because they're good and expect it to work out. I mean, in theory, like Necroth, like I mentioned earlier, can always split push. But he was just terrible in the team fights, which means that, honestly, they should have just never fought, like, ever. If you're the side of Vorpal Sword, just don't fight. Once you've picked this team, you're never going to win a team fight. And it looked like, I think they got kind of baited into some team fights, right? Because a couple of them kind of went okay. But it's only because they're fighting 5v4 or some other weird thing happened where they had an advantage. But, like, all things equal, they were never going to win a team fight. And they probably should have recognized that and just played the split push game.
Lobby is 1492.
Better go quick before the 22nd stream
Oh,
delay.
don't worry. Lobby. I just wanted to see if anybody tried. That's actually not the lobby. I just said that.
Oh. Is that like a reference to Columbus or something?
That's just the first thing I could think.
In 1492.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
And massacred a bunch of indigenous people.
And discovered an island that was already
And-
full of people that had been discovered hundreds of years before.
And discovered Cuba. What?
Well, it wasn't Cuba first, right? It was
I don't know. I don't even know if it
some
was
rando
Cuba.
island.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was Cuba. It was just like, yeah, some rando island, like you mentioned, off the coast. It's like, we did it, guys. We're here. You are Indian.
India.
Yeah, it's so... The funny thing is, like, how are we still calling them Indians? It makes no sense. You know? And I guess as of late, you don't hear Indians as much. You hear Native American. But, like, I remember when I was a kid, it was like... And I'm 32, turning 33 this year. You heard Indian, like, more than Native American, like in a 4-to-1 ratio, I would say. Like, around there for Indian. And it's like, really? 500 years later, no one fixed that? It's like, they're not Indians. They're not from India. Why wasn't that fixed? And it was, like, immediately apparent, too. It's not like...
Team's turn to ban.
It's not like people, like, didn't know for 100 years. It's like, no, it was obvious right from the start. Isn't that weird? I wonder if there's like a history like lesson where...
Team's turn.
Well, the history lesson is, I want to say, blatant racism.
I mean,
He's different than me. We've done it. We're here.
I guess
Blue team's turn.
there really isn't an explanation. It's just people are just dumb and lazy, right?
Well, and also, like, you went on this whole, like, life quest to con kings to give you these boats and these people so that you could sail. You would think you would have learned some, more, some key, like, sailing tips, like, go in the right direction. But I guess, well, if you're in the Atlantic Ocean on a wooden boat, I mean, you don't care at a certain point. You're just like, get me off this freaking boat. But
Yeah.
I feel like,
I think we've established that Christopher Columbus was a dumbass.
yeah, on like multiple levels,
Yeah.
he just that was blind luck to rediscover inhabited island. I don't
Yeah.
even know how you call that discovering something.
He's
Like
like,
going to your friend's house and I'm
these
like, I
people.
have discovered
It's like
your
I'm.
bag of Fritos. Like, yeah, I know, I bought it, I put it there.
Yeah, it's like I'm not on a massive piece of land that India is. I'm on a random island. They don't look Indian. I don't know what these spices are that I've heard that they keep, that we've been receiving for a long time, and their culture looks completely different, but they're Indian. Anyway, we've talked enough about that. Let's get into the game.
So Hayate.
Hayate, indeed. Oh, they switched out Joyu with like Roxy, I believe.
Yeah. Roxy was one of the subs.
Is it bad to be happy that Enzo was eliminated so that I don't have to worry about Enzo being picked here?
Superman.
Superman actually has like one of the highest win rates across all of the Asian leagues. He's just like sleep.
Really?
He's just like sleeper, extremely good.
Wait. Is that like over the course of the existence of the game or him in the game?
No, I mean this season,
Oh, okay.
but it's a pretty substantial sample size.
I was gonna say, if you're talking about the length of the game, that's because everybody won for a long time.
No. I'm saying like now. I'm saying like
Yeah.
Superman's like
Well, he's still.
really good right now.
I mean, I've seen him played consistently, even though we haven't run a tournament in a couple of months. I mean,
Right. Well, I'm just saying
the
like
most recent one. I
right, but
mean,
I'm saying if you were to make a list, theoretically some sort of tier list of the top heroes in the game. I mean, even my list, I have him like not as high because he's still like situational, where like he's
Yeah.
really good like 80 to 90% of situations where he can be countered. So I basically have him like he's like has a permanent spot in tier one, like number one in tier one because that's where the situational heroes start. So to kind of remedy that, I just dropped a bunch of heroes from tier S below him. So instead of moving him up, I moved everyone else down below him. But like I was mentioning, if you like pull a bunch of pros and like who are the best, who are the most OP heroes, right? He's probably gonna be like 15 or so, even though based on his win rate, you expect him to be like top 5. Win rate like times sample size because he's been picked a lot as well.
Even now, though, I mean, I don't see him very much at all.
Well, you need to be watching the AOG and GCS and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw it was on the other day, and I added it to my list of videos to watch on YouTube.
Omega lol. Speaking of which, this is where the Omega idea came from. I'm not sure who started it, but oh hello, is this support Alistair? It's gotta be, right? Where else would he play? Unless maybe they have like one of the two, like Natalia and Bithlin or something weird like that.
I haven't seen that, but Natalia Heal.
I think they're gonna switch. I don't think they're gonna play. I don't think Hunter's playing Natalia. So Alistair, like very occasionally, has been picked as a support. Why would you ever in a million years like you pick Chognar here? Like People specifically pick Alistair to counter Chognar, not. Why would you pick Chognar? I don't get it.
Do you think it's really? There you go.
Team's turn to pick.
Maybe they're trolling me. Oh, this actually, you know what this could be?
Slim.
This could be Enzo support. I think this is, okay, this is Slim's jungle. Pretty sure. Enzo could literally be anywhere. He could be DS, he could be support. Maybe they go Richter support? And they have, like, Natalia in the Abyssal lane or something? There literally are 3 choices for support here on BBB. And there are 2 choices for DS. There's like 2 choices for Abyssal, but I think neither of those are going to be in Abyssal. I think it's going to be Natalia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
So, yeah, this is very strange. But not, not
10 seconds.
necessarily trolly. By the way, we have an Aerial jungle.
Not a fan. The Herald.
Sorry, you cut off for a second there. I'm not sure if you're asking or saying.
No. Are you not a fan of the Herald jungle?
No, it's fine. I don't think he's, like, amazing, though. It's fine, though. Not really sure why the Arm was picked, I gotta say.
Yeah, I just
Welcome to Arena.
feel like her dominance has kind of passed.
Minions will be deployed.
I mean, not just that, I feel like I have her listed as one of the worst heroes in the game right now. I think people are, like, way overestimating her.
It's because she was so good for so long. And it takes people a while to. People
Right.
that don't really pay attention, they just keep playing the same characters over and over again. Which
Right.
randomly is why Abyssal Clash is a great mode. But those are the people that are still playing Arm. I love that character,
Are you trying to say something about Roxy here?
but no.
But
Though Roxy is one of my. I do play with them all the time in multiple games.
but I'm just to elaborate on that, like, Arm is good in certain situations, but this is not one of them. Like, as you can see, just got chunked by this Natalia. She wants to have, like, she would have been good in the last game, for instance, right? Like a lot of melee heroes to go up against, but she doesn't like bursty assassins or ranged heroes.
At least she can. Well, after a few levels, she can lock down bursty assassins. Kind of do something about it, but somebody like Natalia or ranged anything. Ugh.
By the way, so I was asking whether it was going to be Richter support or Alistair support, and I was like, well, and then I was thinking, okay, well, the Natalia is going to be Abyssal, right? And then I figured since Natalia's Abyssal, then Alistair's mid. But it turns out not only so it was all the things I said but put together. So Natalia is Abyssal, but the Alistair support, and oh wow, this is he gonna get kill on Hunter? So much lifesteal, so much lifesteal. Okay, okay, Errol, I see you, Chrono Fate.
Jeez.
But yeah, so it ends up being actually Richter mid, Alistair support. So
Vorpal
coming.
Sword's in a lot of trouble. Chrono
Ooh,
tries, but not
wow.
able to finish.
Arrow is always living on like a knife's edge about whether he can get a kill or die. Obviously, it's alleviated a little bit with the most recent patch where his reduction in defense has gone from 30% to 15%, but still, it's just he gets so much healing, but he's also so vulnerable. Foreman rotation up top here, missing the spear. Oriole's here to
I have to say
back
that.
up. Uh-oh.
They're just going hard for that tower. Chrono is in, but he gets
Ninjas.
locked down. He's done.
Yeah, Ninja was also very dead. So is Hitman. And now all the members of Vorpal are here. I think we've gone full lat M, jury. I see. Let's just focus on this Abyssal lane. We have this very intense minion fight going on. Oh no! The big melee minion goes down. Oh my god, there's a massive minion here. He's throwing shoot again. Okay, never mind. Joke's over.
Complete rotation to bottom. Chrono, is he gonna...
Oh! Finally goes down. But Fantasy
Those
Fan gets
teams
the
there.
return kill. Fantasy Fan in trouble. Oh my goodness,
Oh.
Oh, spear? Nope.
He wanted that way too bad.
Oh, Ezekiel's trying to rotate. By the way, he would have died, but his Reaper's Blessing, I'm pretty sure, went off. And that's what kept him alive. Because last auto attack from Slims didn't go off, or didn't seem to go off. Because of that, I mean.
That tile. Damage.
So Mr. Zod has finished Scorching Wind. Once he gets his... I believe he's probably going to build it into the Cloud Sancte, I believe. But Slims takes a while to get going, but once he does, he starts doing a lot of damage. So the fact that...
They're just terrorizing Chrono.
Uh-oh. Hitman. Get out. Uh-oh. Wow. Gets hit by the 2. In comes Errol. Nope.
Ooh.
Zico goes down. Zohan in trouble. Anyway, like I was saying, even though BB is kind of losing these last couple fights... Oh, never mind. Great mark of the Mark of Frost there. But even though they're losing these last couple fights, the fact that they're kind of in this spot and their Slims is getting farmed up is a really good sign. Usually Slims, just his biggest weakness is the early game when he falls behind and can't really recover. And the fact that he's able to safely get farmed up is really good for them. By the way, Ninja's
Well, and
so
they
aggro.
are, like, they're all over the blue teams. They really are harassing Chrono hard.
Yeah, I think that's kind of by design, right? They're just being so, like, in his face, so that's all Zohan can continue to get farmed. Uh-oh, missed the kunai blitz. He's trying to use that as a dash away, but in fact, instead he dashed into the wall. That's kind of like when you flicker into the wall and you're like, crap, I didn't move. By the way, Hunter went for Tome of the Reaper. Not really sure that's necessary, especially on Natalia. Like, Natalia's whole thing is she bursts people down. Like, Natalia doesn't care about healing. She's like, I don't care how much you heal, I'm just gonna kill you. So, like, I think that's, like, literally the one major where you wouldn't buy Tome of the Reaper, like, literally ever. Right? Because you're not poking people. And if you're playing, like, for instance, I don't know, like a Crixie, right? You poke them and it's like, okay, now their healing is gone for a few seconds. Whereas if you poke, quote-unquote, with Natalia, they're just dead. Anyway, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I understand grabbing it on pretty much any other character.
Yeah.
But you're right.
But Vorpal's going in now. But taking a lot of damage in the back end. Mr. Zohan getting quite a bit of damage in there. Ninja flickers in, just gets deleted by the unpredictable. Zohan lands a spear. Hitman trying to flip.
A lot of people low, though.
Zohan wants it. Oh! The spear! Not enough range. Everyone's backing.
Aram is there, but she's not really going to be able to do anything against these.
Yeah, no. I think she's trying to go in for the ult. Didn't get it though. Fantasy fan taking a lot of damage. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you see.
Gee.
Yeah, this is what happens when Slims gets farmed up. Very nice jump away from Mr. Zohan, by the way. It completely evading that bone shaver, I think it's called. But
Yeah.
oh, Ninja, you went the wrong way.
that was amazing.
Should have gone to your team after you dove that.
Whew, just got out of range. And
So, the story of this game is Slims has 6.2k gold, and the nominal carry for Vorpal Sword's Hayate has 4.2k gold. And I think that's just basically the story of the game. Because Slims is just going to be completely chunking people down from now on. Someone's just like running in there. He doesn't even care. I mean, he's not wrong.
jeez.
He's not wrong. It's just a Gilder. See, this is the thing. When you don't pick someone like Crickneck, it's like, if that was a Crickneck, Slims can't just walk up there. Like, literally, no matter how much gold he has, he can't just walk up in there. But because it's an Errol and a Gilder, he's just like, he has no fear. Speaking of no fear, he's fighting 3 people by himself. Oh. Remember when you're talking about Vorpal Swords just being in the most random in-your-face locations?
Yeah.
Ninja's making it his life work to make sure that they can't do that.
It's working incredibly well. And they're everywhere. And like you said, the Slims just every off every find.
He's just running in with like 10% health. He doesn't care.
I feel like they're ready to.
He's in there. It's because he has Reaper's Blessing. Yeah, that's why.
Oh,
He might be dead now though. That's why he's being so aggro, because he knew he had Reaper's Blessing, but then he took a couple of tower shots and that was that. They're still getting his high ground tower though.
yeah.
Hitman flips himself over. I feel like Alistair is just a better arm these days, because he has snare, but it doesn't hurt himself, and he can do it from range.
Yeah, that change to his ult really made him. I mean, I don't want to say he's a better option because I love her lifesteal. I mean, Alistair is really good. Really, ever since that change to his ult.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be playing support a lot more often these days. Well, that's his only problem, right? The fact that he doesn't share the damage means that he just gets killed like that. That's one of the downsides, but other than that, being able to snare someone from range is nice. Wow, Hunter might be dead. Zohan, are you going to 1v4 this? I don't think so.
He is not. No.
I don't think so, Zohan. You don't have your Reaper's Blessing anymore. You don't have your special powers. And, Vorpal Sword is like, alright, if you're just gonna just one by one line up to die, then we'll take some towers.
A lot of perfectly good opportunities are being squandered right now.
In goes Ninja. And down goes Ninja.
Why?
Hey, when you're a Richter, you don't ask why.
Fair enough.
Is Vorpal just gonna win right now? Oh, maybe not. Oh, never mind. Fantasy Fan with a huge kunai blitz, but an even huger lethal race coming out from Hunter, and Hitman is on the chase. Oh my goodness, Hitman, he really wants that mod in my channel. He really wants that mod.
Well, they have minions at core.
Oh yeah, Winions. Winions.
I'm just Winions is that what we're calling?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that's it.
That was very bizarre. What a bizarre
Yeah.
ending. But regardless, BBB are your champions. 2-0 in the finals. They got a nice $100 for their efforts. Congratulations to them.
And still not bad. 50 bucks going to Vorpal Swords for second place.
I mean, Vorpal certainly earned it. They had to do it the hard way, go through 2 rounds, whereas BBB
Yeah.
only had to win 1. And they put up a good fight against like legitimate pros here.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think they did well considering. It really seemed like they were going to turn it around. So I was afraid to even say anything.
Orange in chat says, didn't Hitman lose mod for missing all 20 Yevoneth ults? This is true.
A very valid point.
Also, he didn't really do a whole lot that game until the very end. I think all 4 of his kills were like right there at the end.
Isn't that what counts, though?
It's true. They were at the most important time. Ninja TK's 8 deaths. Almost half of his teams.
He just was not concerned. Once he got to a certain point on gold, like you said, he's just all in. I enjoyed watching it, though.
The funny thing is, once you dive and die, it's actually more incentive to keep diving and dying, because as long as you're trading, you're doing a good job, because you technically have less gold than them. So you might as well just trade the entire game.
That's true.
It also gave Mr. Zohan more room to continue farming. I mean, basically that's what happened, right? This is like the blueprint for a marksman jungler. You kind of just farm, and then like everything that's been happening in the game until that point is like kind of irrelevant, because here comes the big fat marksman jungler to just chunk people. Anyway, how are we finishing this off, Jerry? Hello?
You didn't hear anything I said, did you?
No, I did not.
You could tell them about your cool website and my cool tournament community, and then we can just call it a day.
Cool. Let me just write out congratulations to BBB. Look at that. Amazing. Skill.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, like you mentioned, thank you, Jury, for holding this tournament. Subscribe to Premier Gaming. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, both here and on YouTube. And by here, I mean Twitch. Go to d2av.com. I finally have a tier list up. And yeah, your turn.
Thanks for tuning in. We will run another Arena of Valor tournament within the next month, so stay tuned. Hop in our Discord. It's discord.gg/ keypoint, no uppercase, 7CWCFBY.
I put it
Or
on the screen.
just- Oh.
But,
Or there.
Yeah.
But just thank you for tuning in, and thank you to D2 for not only streaming and casting, but for being a pillar of greatness in the Arena of Valor community.
That's like the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Boom.
Nice. With that, we are out of here. Good night, guys. Or good morning. Or good afternoon.
Good night, everybody.